about AFC Wimbledon's new striker, Adam Roscrow. How does it feel to be a Wimbledon player now?
It feels amazing, yeah. It feels a little bit surreal. I think it'll certainly sink in over the next few days. I think, luckily for me, pre-season starts in a couple of days, so it's a really short turnaround, but I'm really looking forward to it.
How did this come about? How did you become aware of Wimbledon's interest?
It was a couple of weeks ago, really. They sort of messaged my agent, went down to meet Wally. Just had a conversation with him, really. I think it was a positive conversation from what we gathered when we came out of that meeting. And then literally by the time I got home, he'd sent a message saying, we'd like to do the deal as soon as we can. Sort of, he went on holiday, I went on holiday, so it's taken maybe a couple of weeks longer than what I'd like, but I'm certainly really, really pleased that it's managed to get done.
Was there interest from elsewhere?
Yeah, I think little interest, to be honest with you, just who's he type of thing, but the main interest has been from Wimbledon since they were interested. It looked really positive, and it went through fairly quickly.
Were there aspects of our story that inspired you to say that this is the right club for me?
Yeah, I think, since there's interest, I like to do my little bit of research, look at the club, where they've come from, and I think the club's had their setbacks, had to build themselves up, and I think that resonates slightly from my background, coming from way down the Welsh leagues, with Cardiff Met, going through those league promotions, that type of thing, and building up to the league we eventually got to in the Welsh Premier League, and then still building upon that and trying to get into Europe and the bigger picture. I think it's certainly a very similar place to be in.
Yeah, I mean, you could have been gearing up for a Europa League campaign with Cardiff Met. Instead, you're going to be preparing for League One football. Why now?
It's come at the right time, I think. I finished all my studies, finished my Masters. I will graduate in the next few weeks. I think it's really good timing. I think it's a manager who understands the way I play, and it's certainly a club that, like you say, could have been playing in Europe, but it's a decision I made, and I think it's going to be the right one.
Playing Welsh League football and coming into this now, how does it compare?
I don't know. I think there's a big argument of where people sit in what leagues, and some people say that it's no better than sort of below the conference. I probably disagree. I think it's almost like the Scottish League. The teams at the top are very good. The team at the bottom are not so good. So I think it's one of those it'll be really interesting. I'm not naive enough to think it won't be tough. It's going to be really tough. But I think it's a place where I can learn, I can develop, and certainly get playing, and hopefully give all I can to the club.
So going right back to the beginning, before Cardiff Met, how did you get into football? What's been your journey?
So I've always just sort of played for my local club in Lansett Major. I live there. I have done all my life. Just played local football, and one day I was lucky enough to sort of trials in various places, sort of signed for Swansea City for a year. They released me again, had a couple of other trials here, there and everywhere. Went to play men's football locally for Lantwick again, then decided to go to university. I knew going to university that the football team was decent, and did I think then we'd have been on the verge of playing in Europe? Possibly not, but it was a journey that I think has put me in good stead for where I am today. I've been there for 6 years, did my undergrad degree in sports performance analysis. I've done a master's in coaching and pedagogy, so that's all finished. So certainly it's the right time to take that next step, and luckily I found a club which I think is going to be really suited for me.
And on the pitch, 21 goals in all competitions last season. You had a good season last season.
Yeah, I did. I think being asked, it possibly could have been a bit more, but no, it's really good for me. I think looking at Cardiff Met, they'd probably say they underperformed, not reaching the top 6, but actually we won our first trophy and got into Europe. So to be part of that team that I think really was a successful season in my eyes helped me to score all those goals and really help the team.
And talking about the academic background, you said there, I mean, it's helped set you up now for later in life after football, yeah?
Yeah, you see a lot of people, they drop out of football and they don't know what to do, or even our manager at Cardiff Met, Christian Edwards, he had a professional career, then went back into the academic world, and I've sort of done it the other way around, which I suppose is uncommon, but there's no reason why more people from universities can't make that step into professional football.
And for those who haven't seen your game, what would you say your strengths as a forward?
Probably running at players, getting in behind and fairly quick, so just using my pace to go past people, and I think scoring goals is an attribute that I've always had. They're not necessarily pretty goals, but I tend to score a fair few of them.
You mentioned Wally Downs, his assistant manager is Glenn Hodges, former Welsh international, works a lot with the forwards. How much are you looking forward to working with him?
Can't wait. I just want to get started. I think a big thing for me is just being somewhere where I'll improve, and I want to improve, and being in an environment that will allow me to do that. And from having the conversation with Wally, I think it's certainly something that'll happen.
Yeah, I mean, you said places are up for grabs. What's he said to you that he wants from you now?
He just wanted to get an understanding of my game, make sure I understood my game as well. One of the first questions he asked me was, tell me your best attributes, and he sort of has obviously seen me play, and he agreed. So I think he just wanted to know what I thought my best aspects of my game were, to see if we were on the sort of same wavelength.
It's the first time you've come here today. Of course, the club eventually going to be moving to a new stadium in Plough Lane. It's a big time in this history of this club. What were you aware of Wimbledon before you came here?
To be honest, not a huge amount. Obviously, I know a little bit of the history, being a big club, the FA Cup, that type of thing. I thought more recently, watching the FA Cup games last year and having really good cup runs last year, and then being made aware of that sort of great escape towards the end of last season, which I think just shows character of a team, it shows character of a club, and I think a big draw as well as the fan base seems to be very good and seems to really get behind your team. And I think if it's another drawing factor, if you've got 5,000 people behind you at a home game, it certainly goes a long way to helping you perform on the pitch as well.
Pre-season training all starts on Sunday, and the fixtures have been announced today. Home to Rotherham United,
Yeah.
The first game. You're getting excited about that already?
Yeah, I think that's a long way off. I think it's about 6 weeks, but certainly with the Carabao Cup draw, I believe this evening as well. Just really looking forward to seeing the type of teams that we're going to come up against. I know it's going to be a tough challenge for me personally to sort of break into that team and sort of find my place, but yeah, really looking forward to it.
Adam, welcome to Wimbledon.
Cheers, thank you.